Yo, what's up guys, you new here. I don't know if you guys already did the story, let me know down below by the way, but I already did the story like 3 days ago when this video comes out, so if you guys watch that, feel free. This is my whole 2.4 honest take, honest opinion, honest review on this story, okay? And with spoilers also, so if you guys don't like spoilers, leave, okay? Leave this review. Before I continue, let me just give my background on how I think about the story, especially gacha stories. I'm not like analytical or like very like, oh, this thing, this that, or I'm not really like a literature kind of guy where like I know everything that they're talking about or something. I tackle stories based on how I feel it. So basically, I rate this story based on how I feel about the story. Did the story make me feel what it should make me feel? Then, hey, it's good, you know? It's a good story. Did it make me think? Did it make me do something else? Is my experience good or bad? That's basically like my whole thing. Okay, I didn't really like do much like analytical stuff. I do that after I experience it. I rate stories based on what I experience. Okay, first of all, what is my rating for the 2.4 story? My actual rating is here. My rating, no spoiler free, I posted on Twitter a few days ago when I finished the story. So basically, I give it 7.9 out of 10. It should be 8 by the way. But I would not give it an 8, mainly because of like one of the big reasons why is that the lack of voice. And like I said earlier, I base myself on experience, or I base my ratings on experience. So I didn't say that the voice lines, the lack of voice line didn't really affect my experience, which is honestly very good thing for me because I actually got to like consume the story for what it is. It just like I lowered it a bit mainly because of like the lack of voice line. But if I experience this story quest again with like full voice line, probably in the future, the final like ratings for this is probably gonna be 8 out of 10. And my reasoning is like good build up for 2.5 climax story. Yeah, it's definitely a good build up for 2.5 climax story, which is honestly something that we are been hoping for 2.4 because the devs already said that 2.4 is gonna be the start of the climax and 2.5 is gonna be the finale of all the stuff that is happening in season 2. So it's definitely a good climax and it honestly made me feel good. Not feel good where like feel good in the overall story on what it is, you know? Because it made me feel a lot of things. It made me feel complicated, made me think about psychological stuff for some reason. I got to yap a lot about my takes, like about Dialin being like too dramatic. Why did Dialin do this? Why did Dialin do that? Why is Banyue not really talking much about like the stuff? Why is Banyue guilty about the stuff that is happening in his life? Basically like the trolley problem that happened and like the outcome of the trolley problem. That's basically like the whole theme of the story. It's like facing what comes after your choice, you know? That's like one I said this on the story quest if you guys watch it. This story quest is basically a whole therapy session, not comparable to like the previous quest which is the 2.5 story, because on 2.5 story is like a therapy session but with physical stuff. This one is like therapy session, we just literally like try to fix everything what comes after they did basically. So that's like one thing that I really like about the story, tackling different themes, especially with Banyue and Dialin, and especially with Yashunguang too. Speaking of Yashunguang, I really like Yashunguang. It sucks that some of her voice lines are gone, and I wish I could hear more of her voice lines because she's super cute. But it didn't really, like I said, it didn't really affect me as much, and I got to like her more. I didn't expect to like her a lot more before the quest. Basically like it like doubled my likeness for her, because at first I didn't really care as much because we didn't get to know her, and it makes sense because we don't know her yet before the story. So I got to like her more. Like the new outfit is super cute and stuff. The date scene is cute too, like the date stuff on the middle of the quest. We kinda out of place. And yeah, most of like the teams with Yashingguang, also with the sword losing memories and stuff, especially with like the ending. Spoilers again for the ending. Like, bro, basically we already expect it. We thought that it's not gonna happen because bro is like have a mass of, oh, I did not forget anything, something like that. But she actually forgets something, and she kind of mistook the thing that she said on the dinner thingy and replace it with another memory. And it seems like also the changing sword is affecting the memory loss physically. Basically, like she write all the stuff that she forgot, but like the stuff that she forgot on her diary, it's blurred on her eyes. So basically, she cannot like even like physically know what happened, what she lost. Basically, it's probably gonna happen more in the future as time passes, And also more lore about Yishuan also, which is honestly, this is what I like about the Qingbing sword stuff, especially like Yashin Guang's case. That Yishuan actually built it, and it's crazy how Yishuan, like I said this before, Yishuan literally completed, or not really completed, but like the promise that Yi Jiang and Yishuan have to each other. Like didn't like Yi Jiang like wish that Yishuan find a way to contain Qingming's sword for it to not have any more victims. So the case stuff is super good. Oh, speaking of the Qingming stuff, it seems like we're gonna have another like freaking cursored something arc, same thing as 1.4. And then also let's pull out on the story, because the story is honestly like super good. There's a lot of like side plot here and there, and I'm actually gonna mention that later on my hot takes. Some stuff that is not really bad, but like definitely something to be improved later. I'm gonna give my hot takes later. But one thing that I really like about this quest is that we already got action at the very start. We already got like a cutscene already. Of course, in the middle of the quest, we didn't really get much cutscene because we did get a lot more still cool still image and also comics part, which is super good. And yeah, we already had like the cutscenes are super good, and I honestly like I'm loving the cutscenes for this quest, mainly because I'm like hoping to have a lot more fighting cutscenes. That's what I like about Zenless, because they know how to like they have already like a good animation style that is unique for them. They just need to make cool stuff, and that's what they did on 2.4. Most of the cutscenes 2.4 are honestly insane. Like at the very start with like the Sarah and Yeshi one cutscene, that's a very insane cutscene. Like the corrupting, revealing Yeshi one's new form, and then Dailin fighting, and then Banyue fighting also. And also there's like a cutscene also at the very end at like Banyue's part, where Banyu is like fighting again and then transforming, which is so cool. And the transition to that for the still image, like talking to the dead with Dailin and stuff, this is very heartwarming. I didn't cry though, because I'm it's not something to cry about. It's just very sad and very like wholesome that the guilt for Banyu is finally kind of like calmed down, and especially the finale, like the cutscenes in the finale is crazy. Like when, again, spoiler, Yeshi 1 got possessed. And like the battle animation of that one is crazy, like actually crazy. Like even without like the transformation, before the transformation of Yeshun Guang, them fighting, like actually like sword fighting is so cool. And like Yeshun Guang throwing swords at Yeshi 1, colliding swords together is so cool. The animation very fast paced also, and I kind of like I super like it because it reminds me so much of when they did the Yeshi 1 versus Miyabi demo, And also, speaking of the Qingming sword thingy cutscene, finale cutscene, insane transformation from Yeshun Guang. Bro turned into white version. It's literally an Acheron situation. But that's also like, it's cool and depressing at the same time, because the price of using the Qingmings, when bro turned to white. The price of using that sword. And yes, it's hype, but at the same time, you feel super bad and sad because she used the sword, And speaking of that, since let's go back to the plot also with Yashung Guang. People treat Yashung Guang as a fragile vase, basically. Someone who is like technically strong, but like also will always be in on a like a threat, you know, like a very deadly threat, which is the Qingming sword when she uses it. They treat her as a like a fragile vase, basically, which is like a very interesting take about Yashing Guang's story, which actually makes sense too. But at the same time, Belle said this that I actually agree a lot, which is like I think Yashing Guang is the one who should choose on what she does, basically, because a lot of people are babying her. I mean, technically it's not really babying her, it's just protecting her, but at the same time I feel like I agree with Belle where like Yashin Guang should have a choice, because technically she have the Qingming sword, it's hers now, she got chosen by the Qingming sword. The only thing you can do for her is to support, not to control, and that's basically like what most people are doing with Yesheng Guang on the story, which makes sense. But at the same time, I feel like Yesheng Guang already knows that she is always on a brink of death when using Qingming sword. She's always on like a deadly situation. Like actually, there's no point, you know. She already knows like the risk, basically. Yeah. It's a very sad situation, very, especially with the connection to the very end, very sad connection. Oh, speaking, lastly, that I want to speak about Krampus. I think I already talked about Banyue. I already, like, the Banyue situation is just, you know, like a very, they connected to Krampus too. So, we did get talk about that psychological stuff on the story quest if you guys want to watch that. But I do want to talk about more about Krampus. Krampus is so freaking amazing. It's like Krampus is like that strict mom. But that's basically the same thing as like their name, Krampus. It's like the opposite of Santa Claus. Basically, like if a child like do something bad, Krampus is gonna be there to punish the bad child or something. That's like the whole lore of it, and it makes sense for them. They're judge, supervisor, executioner, and stuff. And even like Banyu is also joining Krampus, which is like very nice outcome for Banyu too, to not waste his life. Basically, it's a very nice arc too. And speaking of Krampus members, we have a new member, by the way, Executioner. Basically like the boss. We have Supervisor, which is like Zhao, which is super scary. As time passes, Zhao was becoming more and more scary for me. Honestly, and I like it. It's like, you know, there's not like some agents will not always just glaze the Phaeton. Of course, they still glaze the Phaeton, but at the same time, it's not like they're always like just gonna like glaze everything that Phaeton said. Basically, they're gonna disagree with some stuff. And even Diane, I thought very cute character. I didn't even expect her to be a judge, but like how she thinks is like very different on how the MC thinks, and it's actually like colliding with each other with like this with their whole viewpoint on it. And it's actually nice that Dialin is like having a different point of view on what the stuff is happening on the story, which some can agree with, some won't, you know. That's why there's a lot of talk with Dialin on the when I did the story quest on Dialin. But yeah, oh yeah, Banyo Dialin maybe play gameplay. Dialin is very nice to play. Banyo very thick and also very hard to play. You need to learn Banyo's combo because Banyo's kit is super hard. Even like the whole bar thing that he has, it's very hard to build up, and you actually learn the combo, learn how to use him based on the boss that you have. So like, yeah, that's one thing about the gameplay. Oh yeah, okay, lastly, OST, crazy OST. That's the most out of place OST on Zenless Zone Zero, because usually most boss OST in Zenless Zone Zero is EDM bass boosted freaking DJ ass like songs. But this time, this OST is actually very different and very nice. It's like orchestral, like music. So it's not like your usual EDM. Like there's not even like a distort sounds to it, you know? Twin Marionette have a very classical sound to it, but it does have some EDM like elements. But on this like actually like OST for the final boss, there's nothing like that. It's all orchestra, like very dark OST, which is honestly very nice and a very like actually that's actually one I think one of the best OST boss yet in season 2. Definitely. Okay, I think that's most of the stuff. I am forgetting something, I don't know. But I think we can now go into one of the big things that I want to talk about, which is gonna be my hot take in Zenless 2.4 story. So I actually like pull up my hot take on Twitter. I already made a whole hot take list on Twitter. So we can literally just read this without without getting out of like tangent or out of place on the topic. First hot take is Session Guang date should be on event instead. It drags the story a bit. A lot of people disagree mainly because they said that it's like its whole point is to like keep Yeshun Guang to do something, to do something about what's happening in the background and stuff, or like the main thing, basically to keep her away from the stuff, to like basically like I said earlier, keep her like a freaking fragile vase. And some people don't like it, but I think it should be on event instead. I think we already have a Yeshun Guang date event, and like just put that there. I said I get like some there's a person who asked why like I think the date, they said that the date is valid, and I would say so. Yeah, the date is valid on the story, but I think it should be better. Like I said earlier, I'm an experienced story guy, so like some of this hot take is just literally like something to improve on the story that doesn't really affect how I feel about my rating and stuff about the story. Okay, the Yashingan date, I really like the Yashingan date, but it should be on event instead. I think they can just do a different thing. I think like the dinner scene should be enough to keep her away from going somewhere, the Yashingan date, when I redo or rewatch it, it does have some like value to it, but at the same time I feel like it's too much. There's too much going on, yes. Like she have like a casual new skin. If they want to show that new casual skin, just do it on the dinner instead. I feel like that will be much better. Or instead of like doing the date before the dinner, we should have just like have like a small commission of like going and like trying to buy some ingredients for the dinner or something, or like still like a Yashinguang date, but like going around and buying some stuff to make it like at least like the duration of it very small. Like the duration of it, by the way, I did check the data. It's like about estimately 19 minutes of Yeshun Guang date. Technically there's only like 2 to 3 minutes of like important information about that, and it can definitely like be shortened to 3 minutes of that whole scene. And or maybe they can just put the Yeshun Guang date on the like literally the upcoming Yeshun Guang event, That's why I said this as a hot take. It just drags down a bit, and a lot of people actually agrees with my take about this, because it's like very out of place. And I know there's like relevance to it on the story to keep her away with the stuff, but at the same time the story is like a build up to something big. There's literally something big that is happening in the background right now, and we're just ignoring it by just going to date to. She already have her decisions and stuff, and we already have like the dinner thingy, so like it doesn't even matter at all to have the date there and have it like somewhere else instead. But yeah, I think they did this to like sell Yeshun Guang more, especially with like the skin, but I think they can just do it on the the dinner scene. Next hot take is I think they are forcing to merge agent stories to MSQ, and I think it's making the main objective super drags out, and I super agree with this. Why? I said the same thing on 2.3 stories, and I think it's okay on 2.3 stories. Why? Because usually like there's a pattern of special program, MSQ special program, special episode, MSQ special episode on season 1, and they said they're gonna like make the special episode combined with the MSQ, and I think it's good. So that's why I don't have the same critic of them merging agent stories with the MSQ last patch. But this time, I think they can just separate the Banyue Darlin situation outside of the MSQ to make the MSQ like duration a bit lower and more consumable for like one day or like one run. because like I said, they drag out the main objective too much. And yeah, I get it. At the same time, there's like, it's important to just separate it and do the same thing what they did on 1.6, where like the Sun B agent story separated from the main story quest, but it's still connected in some way, you know. And like I said here, Banyo and Dailin side story should be in its own quest. And I said it here about Dailin Banyo story. I think they should just do a Sunbi route where it's recommended to do the agent story first before the MSQ. And I feel like it wouldn't hurt anything. Like, I mean, you're still gonna do the agent story anyway. Why not just do it first before the MSQ? And then it will make sense for them to give an excuse for Banyo and Dailin to join the mission. And, you know, it's not really gonna change much. It's just gonna lower it's just gonna remove the Banyo and Dailin situation outside from the MSQ. And they can lower the duration of MSQ. And I didn't even like remove anything. It's still the same amount combined together. It's just separated. So like, that would be nice. And that also means that you can do 2-day quests. Basically, like first day is agent quest, and then the next day is the MSQ. That would be more nice to do. And also, this is like one of the big things that I notice. Especially I noticed this more on 2.3 and 2.4. I think they are forcing the let's come home first before we go back thing on the story. Because I don't know, but if you guys remember, every like act on the story, you need to go back to the temple. And it even happened last patch. On the last patch, I didn't okay, you know what, I would kind of like keep it away for now. I'm gonna keep this hot take for now on what happened on 2.3. But now it happened again on 2.4, and I know there it happened too on like previous quests, but it's not that bad this time. Mainly because of like, there's like a long like very like, it's just like, I don't know, like I don't like this excuse of you need to go first before we go back to the main objective, you know. I don't know, maybe it's just me. Well, like on 2.3 I didn't mind it as much, but like when I literally edited on 2.3 story quest, I noticed how much we go back to the temple, you know. Like we go back to the temple. We go by the temple. Oh wait, we're gonna go to this hollow. Oh, we're stuck in this hollow. Oh wait, we're gonna go back. And then we need you need this to Zhao will give you this item to prevent the device thingy to be clogged or or black or something. Oh, we go back. Oh, Yidahara is here. Oh wait, we can like Yidahara cannot go back go out. Okay, stay there first, Yidahara. We're gonna go back to the temple and make some plan. Oh, we'll go back. Oh my god, Yidahara is gone. Yidahara is gone on the thingy now. We need to delete this balls thingy. Oh wait, let's go back and let's plan out again. And then, okay, let's go back now to the town, the big bad town. It's kind of like very repetitive at that point. Like, I know it makes sense, but also at the same time, it's like there's just too much going back and forth. And like I said, I didn't mind it on 2.3, but I mind it now on 2.4, mainly because it should be continuous, you know? Especially with like my take of like Banyo and Dailin side story should be separated. If this is separated, we're gonna have a continuous quest of like just like going and investigating this whole shenanigans that is happening in the background, you know. So like I said, it kind of drags out. And if they're gonna do like I said here, it's probably a checkpoint, like an arc, right? Like a mission complete arc thingy. But I feel like if they're gonna do a checkpoint, I think they should just make the checkpoint stop where we left off instead of going back to the temple, because it's kind of like dragging it a bit, you know. So if they're gonna have a checkpoint, I feel like the checkpoint should just be where we left off instead of the temple, you know. I feel like that would make sense more instead of just like going back to the temple back and again and doing this stuff. Like, I don't mind it. Like I said, I'm an experienced guy, but like for the story. But like I noticed this a lot more, and it's getting like getting back and forth. Like it's just back and forth situation, which I kind of like having like a weird feeling because it kind of stops the story for me. you know. Maybe like have a checkpoint in the middle of like the main objective. Oh, this is the part that the story is gonna continue for the next arc. Do you wanna continue? Or and then like there's like a choices, no or yes. If you wanna continue, yes, or something like that. Or instead of just going back to the temple over and over again just to do the checkpoint thingy. Just very annoying, I think, for me. And I already said that build up for 2.5, but they can still make a good build up without implementing too much storylines in the MSQ. And this is like one of the big things that I noticed. There's so many storylines on MSQ. I like it that there's a lot of storylines in the MSQ, but I feel like most people will not like it because it's so bloated. And that's actually like one thing that people don't like about HSR story and what makes it so long, because most of the agents side story are in the MSQ. I mean, in the Amphorius it makes sense, but like sometimes some of the MSQ is or some of the side stories doesn't even make sense for the MSQ. I mean, it's connected, but it doesn't make sense to be there. It makes sense it to be like outside of the MSQ. Like a big example of this is on HSR Penacony. We freaking, for some reason, we have a patch about adventuring story, like background and stuff, but it's in MSQ instead of like separated from the main story. So like you know. And I said it here, I feel like focusing their plot on Yeshin Guang, Sara, Yeshi Yuan, and the creator would be more structured because it is about them, you know. The whole story or the main story is about these four, or like these four main major characters. It would be more structured. And if you separated like the Banyue and Dylin's storyline, adding them to this roster, Banyue, Ningguang, and Dylin on the plot is gonna make it like a very like bloated thing. I don't mind it. Like I said, same time, like for some people, they will think it's very bloated. And I think a lot of people are already saying that, like the pacing is kind of bad on the story lately. Doesn't affect me personally, but like again, most people think that way. And yeah, I have like a conclusion here. Like I said, I'm more of an experienced guy rather than analytical literature guy. Some critic doesn't really affect my feelings about the story, but these points will probably be good to present good way to present the story and not make it super long, which is a 4-hour story quest, by the way. And I think that's there's like 4 hours plus more minutes on that. But yeah, also big thing, don't take my critic as a fact, because a lot of people for some reason taking my hot takes as a fact and spread it around. I don't know why are you guys doing that. Stop doing that. Maybe it's a Twitter thing, but please don't do that, okay? But yeah, I think that's most of the stuff that I want to talk about the story. Hope you guys enjoy this whole yapping session about 2.4 story and my whole review. I'm sorry this is very long review, and I hope you kind of get what I'm going for this review, okay? And yeah, I think that's it. Thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, comment down below what you think and what you think about the story. And yeah, I'm gonna see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.